going on, guys? Feels like it's been forever since we've taken the 600 LT out for a drive on the vlog. So we've taken it to a local gas station that actually has 100 octane. Now this thing makes the most amount of power on MS 109. That's where it makes that 750 wheel. But that 100 octane should give it a little bit of an octane boost to give it some more power. Look at this. $10 a gallon. Driving out to Ojai right now to visit Highway 33, one of the best driving roads in the local area, and to let somebody that a lot of you guys know review the 600 LT. Look at that press car Maserati. Wonder who that could be. Well, this has been a long time coming. It is great to see you, dude.
Not long enough.
No. Eddie's back in the vlog. Yes. You just quit your job and are going full-time YouTubing.
Correct.
That's exciting.
Yes.
What made you decide to do that?
I was burning out. I was doing way too much. Full-time job and YouTube, no social life, no time for myself.
Fair.
And wanted to give it a shot.
Well, I'm pumped for you. I think it's the right decision.
Yeah.
So we are out here in Ojai, and I'm gonna let Eddie drive the 600 LT.
It's not pronounced Ojai?
No?
I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Crap.
You've driven a lot of McLarens. What do you think's your favorite McLaren you've driven?
P1.
Yeah,
Dude,
fair.
It can't be anything else except for the P1.
Yeah.
P1 over Speedtail? Because you've driven Speedtail. Very few people have.
It just handles better, but the Speedtail is like more of a event, I feel like.
The P1 is just exhilarating at all speeds, doing whatever.
100%.
And also, I mean, it's poster car, right?
Exactly.
It came out when we were in college.
Yeah.
Just the peak.
So you came out in this Maserati, Recale. I actually haven't, I've driven most of the Maserati's new lineup, but I haven't driven one of these.
Oh, I thought this was pronounced the Gracal.
I actually don't even know.
The Gracal Trofeo. No, it's Gracal.
Okay.
I think it's Gracal.
I'm like, gee, what's happening? Yeah, this is the Trofeo.
Trofeo.
What do you think? I will say it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's got like MC20 inspired cues. Like you spent time with MC20
yeah.
later this
That I love that car.
The DRL is kind of the iconic grill, and also the Trident is always really cool to see.
Is this the same motor as the MC20?
It's detuned, yeah. So it's 523 and 457, which, you know, weird coincidence. I was looking up the power figures, 457 pound-feet of torque.
Same as mine.
Yeah, from the factory.
Yeah.
It's weird when, like, I remember recently.
That is weird.
There was like a coincidence. Like I looked up all the cars that made 560 horsepower.
Uh-huh.
And it was bizarre how many were like at that number. Anyways.
That is wild.
All-wheel drive, twin-turbo V6. It's a Stelvio platform mate, compact crossover, and it's pretty quick. They say 60 in 3.6.
Can we see the interior real quick?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty much the same interior as the Gran Turismo.
Correct.
That's what you were saying earlier. I didn't notice on the Gran Turismo that these buttons turn off when the car is off. They're grayed out. They're on right now. But that's kind of interesting.
You know how to turn them on?
How? You just touch them?
Seductively stroke them.
Is that, you're being serious?
No, I'm not very
You convinced me.
We do have the big fixed metal paddle shifters like the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Some nice stitching and like the 3D carbon where you guys just feel the texture. And the Sonus Fab.
I don't know how to pronounce it either. It is good though, no?
It is. 21
it's pretty,
speaker.
It's pretty impressive.
Quite nice.
The Sonus Faber.
So yeah, we're just, I mean, the Italians are gonna just be like, no more.
Yeah.
No more
Not
cars
allowed
for
to
these
touch
two
our cars
idiots.
anymore.
Yeah. But the McLaren.
Have you ever driven a 600 LT?
Yes, I've driven a stock one before.
Okay, gotcha.
Never a modified one. I've driven 570S, modified 720, 765, P1. What else?
What an unfortunate collection of cars you've got to drive.
Yeah, but
there is one car that you've driven that I haven't driven. That's a Regera, and I am jealous of that.
There's got to be something else probably.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to make myself feel good.
You know, in certain key ways, this is exactly the same as my BMW i8.
Okay, please tell me how.
Carbon tub and the doors go up. You know?
And it has 4 wheels and a steering wheel.
Yeah, absolutely true. And a front trunk.
It just has 5 more cylinders.
Yeah, and like 700 more horsepower.
Yeah. I saw the i8, the original vision concept of the Peterson the other day.
Ooh.
They should have made it like that.
They should have.
The clear doors and whatnot.
Apparently, Alpina wanted to build like a fast one, and BMW was like, no. Which is
really?
Which is kind of lame.
That's a lame. Well, maybe it just would have made the i8 useless.
Yeah, they were like, we can't have that happen. So, how many check engine lights a day do you have on this thing?
0. Huh? Just that. Thief! So here's a little known thing about the Senna seats. When the key falls out of your pocket, it goes under the seats and it scrapes itself apart.
This poor thing.
Yeah, I need a new
key. This probably
key.
costs more than my whole car.
Might.
Because MSO. Anytime you go MSO, it just means open your wallet.
This wasn't even, this was like baby MSO. I had gotten to the point where I'm like, I've already spent too much on this. I'm over it with options. They're like, would you like it purple? And then they asked for my right arm. So I said, how much for orange? And it was just my left toe. So.
What was the sticker on this?
$369.
So you had like over 100K in MSO options.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And there was one guy who came out with one that was even more. It was like 400K because he tinted all the carbon red.
That's just like billionaires are running out of ways to flex on each
Exactly.
other. Yeah. All right, can I open it without it?
I think so.
Ah, there we go. Doors that go up are just better.
They are better.
They make me happy. And I like on this tub, they like cut it out so it's easier to get in and out of.
Yeah.
And the sill isn't quite as wide.
So you've got a Corvette.
Yeah.
Do you got New Balances?
I have white New Balances that match. They got blue accents on it. I've got my Corvette jacket. I don't have jean shorts.
But do you have the conversion kit for the doors that go up?
You know, when I first drove the Z06, I had this really angry person in the comments. They're like, this is not acceptable. It looks like a Ferrari. It's trying to be a Ferrari. Can't be a Ferrari, blah, blah, blah. So I clicked on the guy's profile picture. I'm like, why is he so angry? He had a C5 with scissor doors.
Oh my
So I'm
God.
like, so a Corvette can't be a Ferrari, but you can make yours look like a Lamborghini. I can't.
My favorite part about those doors is they like, you have to open them normal. They come out and then up, and then they jiggle around. It's like really good quality.
And then did you see all the people who were running the aftermarket Z07 wings? And I remember the first.
Oh no!
They're like, does anybody else's wing flap at highway speeds?
Yeah.
So like the outer.
I can't imagine the factory one does that.
No, I don't think mine does. This is a badass wing though. Why is it not carbon?
It's a long story.
Run out of money?
It's a long story. No, when I got this car, because it was the first roof scoop one delivered in the country, they had a supply chain issue at the time with the carbon wing, and so instead of waiting after the fact, I just said whatever, just send it like that.
You'll be probably fine.
So I say, I'll take you for a quick 1-minute drive, and then you can be YouTuber number 2 to drive it.
YouTuber number 2 to drive it ever?
Yeah, after Shmee. Yeah.
Oh, after Shmee. I'll let Shmee drive my car too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You're like, honestly, that was like super boring, man.
I just got out of a Rimac Nevera, so that was.
I'm not really into it at all. Have you been in one of those?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, that is horrifying.
Yeah.
I've been in a like near 3,000 horsepower Performante, and I think the Rimac Nevera might have been scarier because that instant hit.
Yeah.
And it just. Have you driven a Plaid?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll make that happen. I'll bring my Plaid.
Yeah.
That already is really scary, and it's basically twice as scary. I mean, it's like the Plaid's 1,000 horsepower. That one's 1,914. It's.
We're gonna hit a point soon where like the human body cannot cope.
No, I think my friend was talking about the fact. Oh, it was Alejandro.
Okay.
He was like, when is it going to be illegal? Like the 0 to 60 is too fast for a normal individual. You need like a permit or something to drive it.
Like 0 to 60 in 0.9 seconds. Like what are you gonna do? Like oh my god.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
actually that's made me start to want more of the analog driving experience.
100%.
Like where you don't need, like that's why I love my 350R. A CL1 1LE is faster, but like I love the feel, the manual, the noise, the feel, all of it, right?
100%. That's why I think like the Gordon Murray T50 is like probably the last hurrah of epicness. That I haven't driven. I would love to. Yeah. That would be insane.
Well, actually, no, I wouldn't care to. You don't need to give me that. No, of course I wouldn't. Manual V12 3-seater. Yeah.
Pretty ridiculous.
You've seen the McMurtry Spearling, right?
Yeah.
That little toy. That thing looks like fast forward. Like somebody took a video in real life and went fast forward double speed.
Yeah, it was at Goodwood when they set the record in that car, and it actually, because you got to see every hypercar and supercar go first, like around the track. So you got an idea of what a SP3 or a P1 was capable of around a turn, and it looked like not real when it went around the corner.
When I was at Goodwood last year, it was pouring rain, and it could still run because it made all the downforce, and the plume of spray behind it, you could visualize the downforce. It was crazy.
And now I think they've banned it.
From Goodwood?
Yeah.
Why?
They can't have the fan anymore.
Oh.
I don't know. Something about either kicking up too much or that it was unfair. And then also there's a danger element to it that it has amazing amounts of downforce. But if you lose it slightly and it just loses that downforce, you are crashing.
It's like an F1 car. As soon as it breaks that like suction, ooh, that would be bad. That would be very, very bad.
It would be interesting. Wait, were you there the day at Goodwood where a wheel fell off and shot into the crowd?
No. Was that this year? Or last year?
Like somehow no one got seriously injured.
Well, that's
but
scary.
some old 1930s car,
Yeah.
I'm just watching like, oh wow, that's kind of funny. It's going a little slow. And then the wheel just shoots off the car and launches into the crowd. And I look at it and I'm like, people are going to die. Oh my God.
The
And
safety at Goodwood is a pile of hay.
that's why it nothing like that could happen in the U.S.
No.
Everyone would be suing and stuff.
Yeah.
And like,
the waiver would be like an entire book that you have to sign.
Exactly.
But Goodwood is fun.
It's the best. It's the
Festival
freaking
of
best.
Speed is freaking insane.
So speaking of Festival of Speed,
Yeah?
you ready?
Never been readier. Why couldn't you be taller?
I asked myself that every day.
Steering wheel's like in between my legs.
How tall are you? I'm not even short.
6'3".
All right, well that makes sense.
You know the most common thing people say to me when they meet me? Like, you're taller than I expected.
Gotcha.
'Cause Asians are supposed to be short, right? So. You know what McLaren should make? Off-road McLaren.
That would be
Like the
sick.
Storado.
That would be sick.
Did you drive Alejandro's Storado? How was it?
It's pretty cool.
I want one.
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
so freaking cool.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty awesome car.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of makes sense for the Huracan because the non-STO is not that intense and it's not insanely fast. So to have this like kind of, it's like just even more of a toy that doesn't really make any sense is awesome.
It would have been perfect for Michigan. Potholes, snow, who
100%,
cares, right? You just
100%.
do whatever. I would have loved one.
Yeah. Good thing I brought my diaper.
You can hear all the gravel, man. These are sticky tires. Doesn't it feel so much faster, more aggressive from when in passenger seat?
Yeah.
It's always scarier because you're not in
100%.
control. Ooh, some turbo noises.
Initial impressions.
I love McLarens. I love, oh man.
The noises it makes is pretty ridiculous.
The problem is when you drive like the track version of a car, you can never go back to the regular.
Oh,
like
100%.
the 570S.
100%.
Like when I drove the STO, I went back to my R8, I'm like, it feels like a wet sponge. The shifts are too slow.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
throttle
yeah.
response isn't right. It just, you can't go back.
That's how I feel about like the 750S. Although the 750S is closer to a track version than a lot of cars. But to me, to somebody else, like when I reviewed it's like the perfect car for somebody who isn't me, who wants the most like extreme track version. But it's like once you drive the 765, it's like, oh, it is.
Or jaded.
Yeah.
Once you've driven, it's like.
But if you want a car that you can drive like every day and whatnot, it's as good as it gets for a supercar, honestly.
Man, I like this. It was gonna be my goal was to buy a V12 next. Want to own a V12, but I mean like these things are just.
What V12?
F12.
Yeah.
I was gonna go for an F12.
It's a pretty sick car.
Yeah, because I can't afford an A12.
The A12 is also very sick.
Yeah.
In some ways, the F12 looks better than an A12.
I agree. Last Pininfarina V12.
Yeah. They don't drive quite as good.
No. You drove a TDF before, right? Was it scary? I heard they're scary.
It was scary, but not like really scary.
Oh, okay.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I drove it back to back with the A12 Composizione.
Ooh.
And
the guy in Jersey, RM
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's got some badass cars.
Hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. And the A12 Comp felt like you could go faster, more confidently, but the F12 TDF felt a little bit more raw and extreme.
Okay.
But it's really hard to say actually which one I'd rather have.
Okay. The answer is both, Parker.
Yeah.
The answer is always
the answer
both.
is, I mean, he is one fortunate individual. Having both is the dream. And then I drove his F50. That might have been the craziest car I've ever driven.
It's the craziest thing I've driven. Probably P1 for me. P1 over Regera.
Yeah.
Those two are pretty special too.
I'd say like as an overall car that I would want to buy that drives really well and looks cool and sounds cool, I would probably say the P1.
Yeah. Once the battery's been fixed. And then,
Like if I drove the Wyra Roadster BC, and honestly, that blew me away. I was way more impressed.
I love Paganis.
Yeah, I was way more impressed than I thought I was going to be with like the overall handling experience.
Should we go through the tunnels? Or should I turn around?
Whatever you want.
Tunnels!
So what cars do you have now? The Z06?
Just the Z06, and I picked up a 2019.
Oh, literally just a... Oh,
yeah,
no,
an A now. I picked up an AL.
Gotcha.
Remember years and years ago I wanted one, and you guys were all like, no, you're not old enough, get something sporty, so I bought the S4.
Who said that?
A bunch of people were like, because I wanted an A8. They're like,
That
you're
couldn't
not...
have been me, because didn't I have an S-Class
Oh, that's
then?
true.
Yeah,
you are the reason.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, you are the reason that I fell in love with executive luxury stands because the S-Class.
Because I definitely got that too after I got the car. My dad was like, what are you, 80? And I was like, I don't know, maybe at heart.
We went to the dealership to get the S-Class, and the first one we went to, the lady's like, are you sure you don't want like a C300?
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, we're like, no, S550, we know what we're talking about.
Was that the dealer that wouldn't even let me really like look at it, or?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think I went back to the dealer to check out, like this was years later, right?
Yeah.
I showed up in the i8 and I wanted to look at the S-Class coupe, and the guy was like, oh no, our buyers don't like miles on the cars, we can't let you test drive. And I'm like, dude, I could be the buyer, I don't care about 3 mile test drive.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we went to a different dealer. Got you an S550.
What a world.
That S-Class was...
It was nice.
That was so nice. Dude, I love the pops on downshift.
Yeah.
This sounds really good.
It sounds pretty ridiculous. I feel like McLarens don't like have the reputation for sounding amazing, but with aftermarket exhaust, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And it, for being the same, I guess, related 3.8, it has a more hard-edged, aggressive sound. I remember, like, you know, the 12C and the 650S, they feel much more, like, smooth.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
like, a more, like a smooth sound curve to it.
Sure.
The words are failing me right now. The 600 LT is scrambling my brain.
English.
Yes. My English is just my second language, so.
Yeah, but see, not for me. I still struggle.
You have no excuse. Yeah. How much are 600 LTs trading for these days?
Like, all the ones that I see with a roof scoop are between like 300 and 320. The non-roof scoop ones are like 200 to 240.
That is a huge price delta.
Huge difference.
Well, how much was it as an option?
60 grand.
That's good financial advice. If you're ordering a McLaren, get the roof scoop. Your ROI will be brilliant.
Yeah, somehow I lucked out. It's gone through phases where it like made sense, didn't make sense. I just, financials aside, I just needed it.
Oh, of course.
I think
of course.
There's not very many cars that have it, right? It's like Paganis have them. And
if you're ordering a car new, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Just do all the crazy things you want.
If you want to make a horrendous financial mistake, just add all the options.
So obviously there's infinite stuff to discuss. It's been a super long time. I'm thinking you come on the podcast with me and Alejandro.
Deal.
We delve deep, talk about some stuff. It was awesome hanging out with you.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you liked the McLaren. Oh, well, actually, I'm putting words in your mouth. What did you think? You hated it?
I hate it so much. Everything about it. The roof scoop, the color, the owner, the center seats, all of it. Why in the world would you buy it? Yeah, no.
So what do you say compared to an i8? Worse?
I mean, I care about the environment a lot these days. You know, I've cut down on my private jet flights. I've been eating all vegan, organic, grass-fed
Because you're wearing
food.
a Formula One team jersey.
Hey, McLaren, I came matching.
There you go.
McLaren, big McLaren.
Yeah, you're
fanboy
wearing
now.
the McLaren merch.
No, this, oh yeah, I have to. Oscar Piastri, right? Do you know the connection?
Yeah.
The company I used to work for, yep, Dad. No, it is fantastic. All the McLarens are just so good in their segment. They managed to blend a good amount of comfort. Even though this doesn't have the crazy hydraulic, like the 720S suspension, it's still pretty comfortable, fast as F, sounds pretty awesome. And no, kudos to you for actually putting miles on this thing.
Yeah.
I know you've never had garage queens, like we used to drift Lamborghinis in the snow and everything like that. That was always fun.
That's the point of it. You got to get used out of it.
Absolutely the point. Not that you're doing that out here anymore, but
yeah, not a lot of snow, but
no, that's a good thing.
I think if we keep going up this road, though, it might get to snow.
That's
eventually
true. I don't think your
I won't
ultra high performance track tires would cope very well. We didn't take the Maserati. That would be fine. No, but this thing is great. Now that they're going hybrid, downsized V6.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could be the last
V8 era, right?
The last hurrah.
Yeah, I feel like after 750S, they're not going to do gas only either.
Make sure to check out his channel.
Yeah.
Got a link in the description below to Eddie X. He reviewed this car. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic video.
Yeah.
Dude, great to see you.
See you around. We'll be hanging out. Bye.